Hi, everybody. I'm Sandy Sandler, and I'm here tonight with our special guest, Joette Lutrick. And we are I'm going to make a couple projects, and Joette's going to make a mini lantern swag, and also a cemetery saddle. So, and if you're watching the replay, please make sure you let us know that you're watching the replay. So I'm going to get started. Um, let's see. I'm going to get started with, oh no, I just hit um, with a bouquet. So the first thing that I'm going to do is take my ribbon and, oh, there's Joette, hold on, and scrunch this down in here. And I'm going to use this, just excuse me for 1 second, and I'm just going to scrunch this down and use this as my base. Then I'm going to take my flowers and I'm going to put them in the front of my vase. So this, and just kind of fan them out. And let's see what we've got here. Just sort of put that down in there. And then now I'm going to go to the overhead camera and let's see where the overhead camera is. There we go. Sorry, guys. And then I'm going to take some of my Bowdabra bow wire. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the Bowdabra, it kind of acts like a third hand because there's springs underneath here. So it'll automatically adjust to what I put into it. So I'm going to tuck the ends underneath. And then I'm going to take my tail and I'm just going to fold it in half and scrunch that down. And then I think Joette's, and we're going to, okay, and we're just going to fold this over and twist it, fold it and twist it. And all I'm doing here is folding and twisting. And now what I'm going to do is just take my little piece here and we're going to make a little scrunchy bow. And just fold that over. Hi, Maria. Hi, Karen. And we're going to just scrunch everything down. Oh, you can't hear. Okay, hold on. Let me make sure that, okay, I'm not sure why you can't hear. Right now it's telling me that you should be able to.
I can hear you, Sandy. You're coming in clear
Okay.
on my end.
So I don't know if it's a problem with YouTube. Karen, can you hear okay? So now I'm just going to write this part. Hi, Willette from Pennsylvania. And we're going to want this and tie a knot. And then I'm just going to shape this out and bring this down. And I'm not sure. Okay, so Karen can hear. So it's just, okay, everybody can hear. It's just Maria's having trouble and I'm not sure why. And so now I'm going to take my bow and we're just going to tie this around my vase. So this is a really simple way to make a floral arrangement. And just going to twist this and tie a knot. Oops, I'm going to twist it a little bit more. And then I'm just going to tie a knot on the back here. And you have a really pretty little flower arrangement that you can take and give to somebody as a hostess gift for Easter. So now I'm going to put Joette back on.
Well,
And
Sandy, that
Joette's
was really
going to,
cute. Hi,
oh, thank
everybody.
you.
Thank you for joining us. And I'm going to start out making a little lantern swag, mini lantern swag. And I'm taking a length of my Bowdabra bow wire. You want to make it long enough that it will be able to wrap around the neck of or top of your lantern. So I've got a length, I've folded it in half, I'm placing it down in my large Bowdabra, but you could actually make this in the mini as well. I'm just doing it in the large so you can see it better. So place that down in the Bowdabra, and I've got a tail, pre-dovetailed tail cut, and I'm going to find the center and scrunch it and place it down for the base of my little mini swag. And now I'm going to take two little tiny stems of forsythia that I cut off a bush, and I'm going to show you this little trick to keep it from slipping out. I pull a flower or a piece of foliage back and place it down in the Bowdabra like that, leaving the foliage or flower on one side and the length of it on the other. So it's just a little short length I'm putting on one side, but it also helps grab so nothing can, once you tie it, the Bowdabra wires here, it'll keep it from slipping. I've got a couple little pieces of ficus foliage. I'm going to again just place it down with one leaf on that side and the two bigger leaves on the other side. This is going to hide my mechanics and help fan it out a little better, make it look a little bit bigger without covering up our lantern, hopefully. So that's in there. Now I've got some ribbon, and I'm just going to make a little 2 or 3 loop bow on each side. So I'm going to take it and twist it so I have the wrong side facing me, and that little twist helps also catch into the wire so it doesn't slip, but it also it'll give it some volume. Twist and
And
fold,
everybody,
and twist.
don't forget to tell us where you're watching from so you can be entered to win a roll of our Bowdabra scrunchy ribbon.
Right. We did this every week. Give away a roll. So I want to get my loops even. And pull it while the Bowdabra is holding it. So I'm just going to stack this, but I'm going to graduate in and make my loops a little bit smaller each time I go in. Twist, fold. There's my fold to make my loop. I'm twisting to get the right side up. And now I've just got this little piece left and I need 2 more loops. Instead of trying to struggle to get them even, I'm going to make a circle. So I'm going to take this one end and scrunch it down and then kind of make loops on the Bowdabra, and I can see I've got it even. So place it down. It'll look like that. So just circle it and place it down and push the rest of the loop in. And I have this little tabletop bunny. I'm going to place it in after I tie it. I actually could put it, you know what? I'll just put it in here now. Either way, it doesn't matter. You can do it both ways. I'm going to place this down. I'm not sure, probably going to hang on this side. So I'm going to kind of force it on this side so it'll kind of go where I want it when I take it out. So I'm going to take my Bowdabra bow wire out, pull the loose ends through the looped end while it's still down in the Bowdabra, pull it tight, and then remove it. Keep pulling it tight, separate your wires, and then return them to the back side of your little mini swag. Go through your foliage because you put some in areas that don't make it real clear to get to. So weave your whatever bow wire back through and tie it in a tight knot. Get it secure, and then you have this cute little swag. But now we've got to straighten it up. But I'm going to tie it on this little mini lantern. I have another lantern that's actually bigger. I can make it fit on either one. I'm going to go ahead and tie it to the top of this one. And you can do this and change them out seasonally or occasions. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to tie this in a knot and clip off the excess wires. And none of this was made with hot glue. We can do this so easy and then have it where we can just switch it out. So I'm going to fluff everything. Let me turn it toward you so you can watch me fluff. So just pull your loops out, kind of run your fingers through them and poof them. Give that little round poof to all your loops because that's going to make it look more professional. And now I've got tails running through here. And pull my loops down. And you want to use that ribbon and your foliage to help hide your mechanics. And then that little little bead is in my center. So that's it. You have this cute little mini lantern swag in no time at all. And that could go on a medium size swag or lantern as well. So I'm going to set that aside and hopefully it's out of the way. And we're going to make a cemetery saddle. We played a reel this last week of making how you can make a cemetery saddle in the Bowdabra, and it was very popular. So I figured it was time to show you again in person. So we're going to do that tonight. So I've got a
Maria
good
likes the
length of butter
lazy Susan.
Rubbermaid cabinet. I think it's a cabinet one, but yeah, I'm not. Sandy likes her stationary. I like mine to turn. So I'm taking a length of Bowdabra bow wire and long length and putting it down in the Bowdabra. Folded it in half, and we're going to start building from the bottom up. So I've got ficus branches, and you want to spread them out a little bit, because that'll make your spray look a little fuller. And again, you can do that same trick where you put leave one sticking out on the right side and you have the longer pieces on the left side. I've got two pieces. This doesn't take much at all. You can make these as small or as large as you like. Some people like them kind of small so that they don't cover up the name on the headstone. So this one's one of those kind. It looks really elegant and it won't cover everything up. So now we have something that's shaped like that, but nothing's going to fall out. It's definitely going to be weatherproof. So next I'll put in my linear flowers, and a lot of this is just Dollar Tree and dollar store flowers, and then there's a few flowers I snipped off of a bush that I used part of. So it doesn't take a lot to do this. You could probably make it for under $20 with Dollar Tree stuff. So I'm gonna pretend this is my front. So when I put it on the headstone, I want it to kind of hang off the side towards the front. So I'm using these hanging flowers and placing them to where they'll hang that way, even though it's going to be flat. So this tulip bush is actually Dollar General, $3 bush. So it's got should have 8 tulips. One, two, three, four, one, two, three. Yeah. So I'm going to part it in half like this. And then I'm going to place, let's see, I'll part it in half this way. So I want the longer side, it makes it even. So if I put the longer side here and I have that over here, it makes it more even so they're equal. So I'm going to here's some of those flowers I was talking about that I'd cut off of a bush. I'm going to save those for last, but I will have to cut them down. I wanted to just show you that you can use them at any length. You can hide the stems, but I want to I wanted to put those in where they'll show at the end. Kind of, instead of using a bow, I'm going to cluster these in. All right, so now this is more Dollar Tree bushes, and I'm going to separate. I want the kind of equal long long and shorter flowers here. So I'm placing this in. Same procedure, folded these over, and I'm going to lay it right there so they're as even as possible. I have another one, and I'll put this one opposite to the down the stalks on it. I'm just going to put this on this side. And here's a purple one. I'm using all spring flowers. So I'm trying to bring out a spring theme color. So again, I've pulled them apart, bend one of these sides down. I mean, we're not using floral foam or hot glue to do this. This is amazing that you can even do this in the Bowdabra to me. So let's see, I've got forsythias. I've cut these off a bush. And I'm going to do that again, put some on this side just to kind of hold it in when I tie it so nothing slips loose. And the same on this side. So if you notice, we're just going left to right, left to right, left to right, and building on it. Now I have these pretty roses, and I'm going to put them right here. I'm gonna cluster them all together. So I've got the same on this side, and then I have this hydrangea for this side. And I'm just going to put this down the middle, but I'm going to hide the bulk of the stem underneath the roses I just did. So when I fluff it, that'll be my center, and I don't need a bow, and it'll be really pretty. So now I'm going to take my Bowdabra bow wires out at the bottom of the Bowdabra. This is my loose end, and underneath here is my looped end of the slip knot we made. I'm gonna pull it tight, pull those loose ends through and pull it tight. And then look at that. It holds it all together for me. You can already see the shape of it. It's going to need fluffing, but it really doesn't look bad like this. So pull it tight and then weave your wire back across to where you came out. So all the flowers are clear and all the foliage is clear, and you're going to tie it in a knot. And you want to keep it as tight as possible so it can survive the weather. But not only can this be fluff it a little bit, not only can it be a cemetery saddle, you can use this for a mailbox swag. You can use it for a centerpiece, just like this, your mantelpiece, and even a door swag. There's lots of purposes for this, but I want this one side facing you to be my front. And just pull all your flowers up so everything's showing. Get all your colors mixed in there, purples and fuchsias and oranges. Want to kind of, you can fluff them up a little bit and make sure that you're playing with wired stems, so you can bend them and manipulate them. Don't be scared of them. Put them how you want them, what direction you want. I have this now, and I accidentally grabbed a larger saddle. This is a wire saddle frame that you can get at Hobby Lobby, Amazon. You can find them anywhere. And I've got zip ties. So I'm just going to center my saddle here. And I'm going to go through some of these stems that are across the bottom, mainly my greenery stems, and then zip tie this on. Cut those
Yeah, Kimberly, Joette
tabs
does
off.
play stuff. Joette does play stuff the Bowdabra.
That's my favorite game. Okay, now I'm going to do the same on this side to secure it. And we could have used our loose Bowdabra bow wire also to put an extra little bit of security there, but it's not necessary. So that's it. You have this really easy and inexpensive cemetery saddle in no time at all. And then make sure those, I don't have them quite even, but it would hang. See how it won't hang? It'll hang and cover your saddle, but I mean, your headstone, but it's not going to cover the name, and it's just the perfect size. I love making them like this. And there's another way I make them too, where I actually have shower hooks on some of the stones that I work with. They're stainless steel shower hooks, and I secure it with Bowdabra bow wire. That way they're theft proof and wind proof. They don't blow away that way. But this is how you do it, and very simple. If you have cemetery flowers, you have to do seasonally like I do. And that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you everybody for watching.
Thank you so much, Joette. Now, I'm going to go back and let's see here. So what I'm going to do is make a small wreath because I don't play stuff the Bowdabra. And I'm going to take my Bowdabra bow wire. I'm going to cut a piece so that it's long enough that I can fold it in half, lay it down into my Bowdabra, and tuck the ends underneath. And then what I'm going to do is go to the overhead camera, and I'm just going to, what I've done already is dovetailed some pieces of ribbon. We're going to make a spicy bow to put a spiky bow to put on our eucalyptus wreath. So we're just going to, so I've got two different kinds of ribbon that sort of match together, and we're just going to lay these down in here. So it's really simple to do. And bring this down here. And now I'm going to take another piece of my wider ribbon, and we're just going to lay those in there. Then I'll take my thinner ribbon. So I'm just alternating. And this is great because you never have to throw your scraps of ribbon away anymore. And we're just going to lay this down in here and tuck that in there. Take another piece here and finish this off with two more little pieces of my 1.5 inch ribbon and tuck it underneath. And then I'm going to take my flower and just lay that down in there. And I'll take my wand Give everything a good scrunch and pull it up and pull it through my slip knot and pull it tight while it's still in the Bowdabra. I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to separate my ends, bring them around to the back, and I'm just going to tie this off and double knot it. And now I'm just going to bring my flower up to the center and just pull the ribbon all apart. So we end up with a really cute little spiky bow. And bring this around here and bring that up here. And so let me know if you guys have the regular Bowdabra or the mini Bowdabra, or are you just watching us for the first time and you don't have any Bowdabra? And I'm just going to tie this on here and just knot it and clip my wire. And then what I'm going to do is just shape out my bow, kind of pull it out again. I'm going to just do a little bit more fluffing. And you have this really easy, here we go. It's really easy little mini wreath. So now I'm going to put this aside and we're going to make a little bit bigger wreath. So I'm going to take this here, fold my Bowdabra bow wire in half, and lay this down into my Bowdabra. I'm going to tuck the ends underneath. And let's grab, so we're using 3 different ribbons that kind of can be a Easter or just for spring. And take this down there, and then I'm going to lay my orange burlap in. Let's make sure I have the right side of the ribbon. Lay this down in here, and then take my buffalo print and lay this down here. I love this buffalo plaid. I think it's so pretty. And we'll go to the overhead camera now. Move my mini Bowdabra out of the way, and I'm just going to fold and twist. So fold it and twist it. This way the wrong side of the ribbon is on the inside of the loop. So I'm going to keep folding it. So fold it and twist it and fold and twist. Okay, and oh, you're showing your students, Kimberly, how to use it. That's so cool. And now I'm going to take my burlap and we're just going to fold it back and forth. And I love this burlap because it's a wired burlap, so it's really easy to use and to shape out. And we're just going to push that down there and lay this here. And I'm just going to finish up with my buffalo plaid and fold it back and forth. So all I'm doing is folding and twisting. So fold and twist and fold and twist and bring this one more time over. And then I have a piece, this is my wreath is here, and we just wrapped this in our green burlap, and I have a little piece of the burlap, and I'm just going to make a scrunchy bow down in the center. So I'm just going to fold that over and take my wand and give everything a good scrunch. Then I'll take my wire, and I'm going to take the 2 loose ends and put them through my loop. So we've got basically a slip knot there. And now I'll pull it out pull it out of my Bowdabra, and I'm just going to separate the ends and bring it around to the back. And now I'm just going to tie a knot, and we'll double knot it. And I'm going to start shaping it here. So we're just going to pull apart my bow, bring my tails down, and we'll tie this onto our wreath. And find my other piece of bow wire. Oh, it's here. And we're just going to tie this onto here. So it's really simple. So I want to thank everybody who's sharing. That's so cool. But the type of bow, well, that is called, I called it a spiky bow. And we're just going to bring our tails down and bring these tails over here, bring this here, bring this down. And I'm going to just now shape my bow and just kind of putting my fingers in the loops and bring this here, bring this down over here. So it takes the longest time is the fluffing. So we're just going to bring this up here, bring my orange loops around so I can see them. And you have this really cute little wreath that's super simple to make. So now I'm going to put this over here and take my Bowdabra. Oh, we have a winner. Hold on, let's see who's our winner. Is Kimberly Carr Peterson from Iowa. Please PM Bowdabra or email us at bowdabra@me.com. So, and let us know your mailing address and whether you want the red, the gold, or the silver scrunchy ribbon. I'm just going to lay this down here and go back up to our overhead camera. Whoops. And we're going to make a big swag. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my mesh ribbon, and we're going to make just a big scrunchy bow out of the mesh. I'm just going to lay this down in here. And scrunch this all down. And the mesh catches on everything. So I'm just going to bring this down in here. And we have our flowers. So I'm just going to we fanned out the flowers. I'm just going to lay those down into my Bowdabra. And take my tails and just going to lay the tails down into the Bowdabra. And I'm going to take my monarch ribbon. I love this ribbon. It's a nice, thick, really pretty ribbon. And we're just going to fold it back and forth and bring it back over here and just fold it. So we're just folding and twisting. And fold and twist. And just fold and twist. Look, I've got so much in the Bowdabra that everything wants to push out. So we're just going to go back here and twist it, bring it back over and twist, and bring it back over here. So all we're doing is folding and twisting. So it's super simple. And lay this down in here. And I'm going to take my Bowdabra bow wand and scrunch this down. And now I'm going to take my wire, bring it back up here. And again, now I have my slip knot. So I'm just going to pull this through my slip knot, pull it tight while it's still in my Bowdabra. I'm going to separate the ends, bring it around to the back. And I could tie this onto a wreath form, or I can just tie a knot and use it as a door swag. And then I'm just going to shape out my loops and put this here. So it's super simple. And pull this down here. Pull that there. And go back to the front camera, and you can see how pretty this came out. And it's super, super simple, and it makes a great door swag. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. And we'll see you next Monday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Mountain, 6 Central, and 7 Eastern. So thank you so much. And again, thank Joette very much for showing us the cemetery saddle and the mini lantern swag. So thanks, everybody.